Welcome, Creative Adventurer. I'm Debbie Cohn with Cohn Designs. Thank you for stopping by today. In today's video, I'm going to give you a quick roundup of the best things I've found in 2022, as well as a recap of my goals from this year. For the best of 2022, in terms of quilts, well, I made 7 quilts, completed quilt tops, and the best one is hanging right behind me. That's my blue and white Scrappy Sizzler. I'm really happy with it. It's my first blue and white quilt, and is a pattern that I designed, and I hosted a quilt along for it this summer. I sewed a multicolor version and this blue and white version. The best quilt event that I attended this year, that was hard because I did go to QuiltCon, which was held here in Phoenix this year, and I did a couple of other classes and things, but my favorite really was a retreat. I went on with my local quilting group. Shout out to the Phoenix Area Quilters Association, PACA. Awesome. I had a great time at the retreat. I encourage you, if you have the opportunity to go on a quilting retreat, to take advantage of it. It's a lot of fun. My best quilting accomplishment, aside from getting a lot of quilting done and videos done, was my Ukraine Always quilt. When Ukraine was invaded by Russia in February this year, I decided to design a quilt and offer it as a free pattern on my website, in honor of the people of Ukraine and in support and solidarity of their effort to retain their homeland. I designed the quilt and hosted a free quilt-along on my YouTube channel in February and March. I exhibited the quilt at the Arizona State Fair this summer, and to my delight, someone purchased the quilt. It is my understanding she purchased the quilt in honor of a friend of hers who had served as a nurse in Ukraine for many years. I'm really happy it went to a great home. It was my first professional quilt sale, but most of all, the proceeds I donated to World Central Kitchen and to the International Red Cross. The best tool or notion that I found this year was by far the best was the Creative Grids ruler. I purchased the 2.5 by 18 inch size, and I'm very happy with it. So happy, in fact, I'm in the process of changing out all the rulers that I use regularly to the Creative Grids brand. My favorite fabric that I sewed with this year was Corey Yoder's Springbrook. You can get it, but it's hard to find right now. It was a wonderful floral, light and airy, and very beautiful. I loved sewing with it. My favorite creative adventure was making bags. Now, I'm a little late to the zipper bag party, but I loved making my first one so much that I went on to make 14 more. Here is one of them. This bag I made using some leftover selvages. I made them for family and friends as well. In the non-quilting area of my life, my favorite book by far of the 31 books I read this year was Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. I highly recommend it. It's a historical novel about a circus and its participants in the 1930s. It combines romance and mystery and well-written facts. Very interesting, lots of fun. My favorite non-quilting event was when I went to Boston this summer. I went to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. If you ever get a chance to go there, I highly recommend it. It's well worth a visit. I loved the museum and could have spent days there, but it was only a couple of hours. I'm a tea drinker, and the best tea that I found this year was the Bigelow Toasted Almond Coconut Tea. It's a black tea and it's delicious. Last but not least, my best non-quilting accomplishment was that I kept off the weight that I had lost the previous year. I lost 10 pounds and I've kept it off this year. And for me, that's a big accomplishment. Let's move on to a very quick goals recap. I had 5 goals this year for quilting. My first goal was to do a block of the month quilt. Yes, I did. I did the Quilting Life block of the month for 2022. My blocks are done, but I've decided to add another column to the quilt. So when I get that done, I'll put it together and the quilt will be finished. Another goal I had was to do some curved piecing. I had in mind to do a quilt with Zen chic in February and March. However, when Russia invaded Ukraine, I put that aside and did the Ukraine Always quilt and quilt along instead. I'll save curved piecing for another time. My next goal was to use my selvages. I've been collecting them for a while, and yes, I did. I made a selvage bag and I made a selvage wreath. I also reviewed the book on modern selvage quilting. My fourth goal was to do an art quilt. Yes, I did do that. I took a class and I did part of it. I didn't finish. It is in progress. It's one of my works in progress. It's a cute Laura Haney wall hanging quilt, and I'm about 25% done with it. I'll keep working on that one. My last goal for 2022 was to use up my scraps, and I think I did a good job of that. I designed a quilt pattern and I made 2 different quilts using my scraps. Did I use them all up? No, I still have a lot, but I made a tiny dent in them, so I'm happy about that. Looking forward to 2023, I only have a couple of goals this year. My first goal is to get my online shop up and running and my patterns in my shop for sale. That's my priority over the next couple of weeks. Second goal is to design at least 5 more quilts this year and put them for sale in my shop. My third goal this year is to design a medallion style sampler quilt and have a quilt along for it, and then offer the pattern for sale after the quilt along is over. I'm looking for that to be sometime this summer. I'm keeping it a little simpler for 2023 because I want to focus a little bit more on the business side of my quilting journey. Look for more videos and helpful hints and tips and quilt-alongs to come. If you'd leave me a comment below, I'd love to know what is your top favorite thing from 2022, and maybe what is your top goal for 2023. I'd love to know. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and tell a friend. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you would, and then head on over to my blog at dcondesigns.com. There you'll find a couple of patterns for your personal use and more quilting inspiration. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Happy New Year!